Yo, it's Wednesday night, and this is Sheba at Night. And tonight we got Trey from the Gulf of Mexico. What's up, TD?
What up? What up?
What up, player? And we
Look
got
at
this,
that, beautiful.
isn't that
Wow.
gorgeous?
Hey,
And we got Uber
fantastic.
Barbie and
Hey,
hey, Barbs. And I just want to give a quick shout out to this kangaroo behind me and also Jason down in Australia. Number one Sheba Wings in Queensland. Congratulations, sir. Woo! We're all about that deflation in every bite. But Barb, do you got some more of that Sheba state to talk to us about tonight? That shit was
I do.
interesting.
Yes, I do. It's going to be exciting. We've been working on the 22 principles of SHIP, and we went through 6 of them last night, and I think we're going to go through a couple more tonight. You ready?
Fantastic. Can we recap from last night real fast? I got it right here.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I wrote it down. Barbs, let me see if I can get if I got the point. Let's see.
Yes,
So
sir.
the first one was transparency in action. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about what the group as a whole, Shibazens, Shibazens.
Yes, for the Shibazens, for the people that hold SHIB.
That whole ship. Okay, so this is what is expected of a good Shibazen: transparency in action. Okay, that was what being transparent. Not being shifty, right?
Right.
Blockchain is transparent, so I see how that goes hand in hand. That's good. The next one was digital respect, and that means not taking people's shit and so much more. Um, Also, we got digital nonviolence. That means not hurting anybody. Don't hurt their feelings. Be a helping hand if you can. And then I got cherishing life across not only real world but in the metaverse. So cherishing life, cherishing people in the metaverse. I like that. I got equity, fairness, and justice. Treating people like we want to be treated. And then the last one was compassion, and a big one that we liked was empathy, compassion and empathy. So
Yeah.
those are those that's the start of getting Shibas in some protections, did we say, or was there a better word?
Well, it's principles on how to behave themselves, and yet it is protection, because if people don't behave themselves the way that they want Shibazens to be, this utopia of sorts, then there will be some consequences that will be taken.
Right. And I read it was some things like arbitration and things like that, which I really find that interesting. I like that. So that was what a good Shibazin is expected, but that affords them some privileges, right? And we hadn't got to those yet, I don't think, have we?
No, we have not.
Okay, so let's go to the very next one, the 7th one of 22, Shibazin's principles.
Okay, so we have sustainable practice. We advocate for sustainable use of resources, both in physical and digital realms, ensuring our actions today do not compromise the future. Sustainable practice. So what does that mean, sustainable practice, to you? Have you thought of it through?
Trey knows a hell of a lot about sustainable practice coming from the ocean and how to treat the animal population and some of the things that you take out of the ocean. Trey, can you tell us a little bit about sustainable? What is it, Barty?
It's sustainable practice, and they're advocating for the sustainable use of the resources, both in the physical and digital realm, ensuring our actions today do not compromise the future. To me, that's, the ecosystem and green building. But Trey, please tell us a little bit about, sustainability in the ocean.
You just got to treat it with respect. Everything you take from it, you got to give back. Make sure you look out for it.
Oh, say that again.
So you just got to treat it with respect. And whatever you take out, you got to give back.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot.
Give her an example. Maybe those oysters, Trey.
What's that?
How'd you do those oysters?
Oh, with the oysters, yeah, we're cultivating. For all the oysters that we took, we had to put back a green shell, which is recently just shucked or After we put them to a tumbler, they would fall out. So you would scrape those up, put them in back in a bushel bag, and you would take them back out and lay them in the grounds that you cook from. Because
Mm,
every oyster has cell, how they put off and everything. So oysters will reattach to other old oysters and grow more.
exactly. So he always had to put back. Every time he took so
Yeah.
many out, he put that green one in.
Plus, you're releasing a lot of seeds, and the smaller oysters that aren't big enough, will fall through. So you have to put those back, and so they can regrow. So you basically making sure you always got money in the bank.
Making sure you can
Oh,
always come back. Mhm.
and that he's got money in the bank. I mean, that's part of learning how to
Right,
have a bank.
right. We would take single oysters, and like I would take 1,000 of them, small ones that I didn't turn in, and I would take them back out and I would replant them. We call it plugging. So you know what I mean. That way, in 3 years, I know I got 1,000 singles over here worth $1 each. So it's like put,
Wow.
you put it in the bank and wait for it for 3 years to grow.
Oh, that's super cool.
I love
Like,
it.
I mean, it's forward thinking. You're not thinking about the
Right,
present. You're taking care of the future.
right.
That I like that. I really do. That's a great way to look at this whole situation of you doing your job and doing it in a eco manner.
So taking and giving back. I think the same thing about those liquidities. You're taking from the people. What are you providing in return?
If we're taking liquidity from the people,
Yeah, if we're taking responsible, let's say, okay, so you did great on an asset or two or three or four or five, and you take profits, right? Great,
right?
great.
Well,
It's
you put it back in, right?
always been the dream to put it back into the community. Yes.
Right. So we not only put it back in, but when we do take liquidity, we're burning it as well. Isn't that correct?
Well, by producing jobs, maybe, right? Producing jobs, producing services, goods,
So
whatever it takes. Yes.
did,
Building.
didn't that, didn't that gentleman talk to us about mining and how they have really been able to reduce that carbon footprint there? And I know Elon Musk was toting that as well. I think
That's
that gentleman had,
sustainability. Yeah.
right?
Sustainability.
Didn't Lord Dan, he was talking about that
Very
stuff.
interesting. Very interesting. Because you're talking
So,
about using steam for Ethereum, maybe.
mm.
Hmm.
Well, I think that's, certainly something to admire and follow up with and see how we could do better in certainly working with our ecosystem and green building.
I love
Um,
it. Thank you.
always for that. Always for that. What did Trey just say? He said, leave the earth better than
You found it.
we found it.
Absolutely.
That's a
Uh,
beautiful thing.
that was a great
That's
idea. That's a great
number
idea.
7. So that's number 7, sustainable practice. We advocate for the sustainable use of resources, both in the physical and digital realms, ensuring our actions today do not compromise the future.
Fantastic. Go, Sheba.